Lin Han looked at the beautiful young tutor wearing a cheap towel in front of him and directly pressed him onto the sofa, then held his small feet wrapped in stockings and began the strenuous exercise. 7 days ago, blood rain descended and global flora and fauna evolved. Humans who came into contact with the blood rain turned into zombies. On the day before the blood rain fell globally, Lin Han transmigrated to this world and awakened at the first moment the Apocalypse Goddess Collection system. Upon learning that the apocalypse was about to break out, Lin Han spent all his money, stockpiled a large amount of essential living supplies. Considering the special nature of the system, emotional lingerie, props, stockings, and other items, Lin Han also bought quite a few. The next day, blood rain began to fall from the sky, dyeing the world blood red. Humans who came into contact with the crimson downpour directly turned into zombies. On the third day, flora and fauna began to change, cats and dogs grew to enormous sizes, and the wilderness had already become a paradise for ferocious beasts. On the fourth day, zombies ran rampant, and humanity became the bottom of the food chain, forced to hide in their homes and struggle to survive. On the fifth day, the evolved animals collectively left the cities, heading for the wider wilderness. On the sixth day, the blood rain completely dissipated, and after research, the authorities gained nothing. On the seventh day, the final report was released, declaring the arrival of the global apocalypse. This was the current situation of Blue Star. The only good news was probably that the blood rain had not destroyed human infrastructure, and the evolved flora and fauna were not interested in it, so now the internet and power could still be used normally. Although the blood rain had now disappeared, many of its molecules had already permeated the air. The impact caused by the blood rain was growing larger and larger. Zombies ravaged the cities, and everyone lived in fear, not daring to go out to search for supplies. The vast majority of people had fallen into a situation of material shortage, gradually sinking into despair. What awaited them was either starvation or being assimilated by zombies. As for Lin Han, he was not lacking in supplies yet, and the safety of the residential area was guaranteed. But who could have imagined what the future would become? So Lin Han's sense of urgency was also quite strong. Thinking of the system he had bound, he turned his gaze to the door. Outside the door was a recruitment notice Lin Han had posted, recruiting maids, with food and lodging included. Those with good looks, good figures, and good temperament were preferred. There was no way around it. The very realistic point was that Lin Han couldn't cook. During these 7 days, although Lin Han had lived quite comfortably, he had been eating instant food like self-heating hot pots and instant noodles. He wanted to learn online, but after several experiments, looking at the charred and unrecognizable dishes, Lin Han decisively gave up on the idea of continuing to learn. Because of this, what Lin Han most wanted to add to his collection now was a goddess-level maid, or the one living across the hall from him. That top-tier mature woman, Su Qingwan, a full-time housewife with the pending S-rank ability Gourmet Healing. The reward for unlocking her collection entry was the SSS rank ability Dimensional Space, charging count 1. She was at the age of a wolf-like appetite. Mature woman, considerate, gentle, and understanding, able to properly manage and handle the future harem of goddesses for you. This was something only Lin Han could see in the system. After seeing Su Qingwan's introduction, Lin Han understood he had to take this beautiful, mature woman into his collection. The Apocalypse Goddess Collection system required him to collect goddesses who met the collection standards. After adding a goddess to the collection, he could receive a one-time reward from the system, which was an ability as well as a permanent bond effect. Whether it was the ability or the bond effect, they were urgently needed means for Lin Han to protect himself. With these, Lin Han would have the confidence to lead a harem of goddesses and gallop across the apocalypse. As for the so-called collection method, Lin Han could only say, "Those who know, know." Anyway, up to now, Lin Han had only seen Su Qingwan as the one goddess-level character who met the requirements. So on the 6th day after the apocalypse broke out, Lin Han predicted in advance that Su Qingwan would run out of supplies and proactively added Su Qingwan as a friend in the community owners group, showing her his inventory. He also considerately placed some ingredients at Su Qingwan's door. Of course, only enough for one meal. Lin Han did all this naturally to make Su Qingwan truly believe in his supply guarantee. Looking at this recruitment notice that had been posted across the hall for 7 days, the 38-year-old Su Qingwan pursed her lips. Then her gaze became firm, and she tore down the notice and knocked on Lin Han's door. She certainly understood what this meant, but she still did it, because this was not only for herself, but also for her daughter. Hearing someone knock on the door, Lin Han grinned, knowing that the long-awaited opportunity had arrived. It seemed the beautiful lady across the hall had finally reached her limit. When Lin Han opened the door, he saw the woman before him. Her appearance was very enchanting, with long black hair hanging down over her magnificent, undulating chest. Su Qingwan was only wearing a purple qipao, yet it was enough to attract attention. Her ample thighs were crossed, showing off their length. On her delicate little face, there was a gentle, youthful, and beautiful expression. The unconfident Su Qingwan asked Lin Han with a nervous heart whether he thought she was suitable. Not bad, Lin Han answered decisively and righteously. As he spoke, he had already welcomed Su Qingwan into his home, and his hand naturally rested on Su Qingwan's shoulder. Su Qingwan just trembled slightly, glanced at him, and didn't say much. Before coming to find him, she had already thought everything through. After sitting Su Qingwan down on the sofa, Lin Han got straight to the point. Madam, you should know what he meant, right? Someone like her was most suitable to be a maid. Lin Han's eyes were full of appreciation for Su Qingwan. Su Qingwan acknowledged that she knew. Lin Han told her she could stay here from now on and remember to do what a maid should do. Su Qingwan interrupted to ask if she could see his supplies first. Lin Han agreed and got up and took Su Qingwan to a room dedicated to storing supplies. After opening the door, the supplies filling the entire room made Su Qingwan's mouth drop open. Seeing so many supplies, Su Qingwan was stunned, and her eyes turned red, almost crying. Her daughter would finally not have to suffer. Lin Han asked if she believed him now. Su Qingwan didn't speak, she just nodded woodenly. She still hadn't recovered from the shock. After her daughter came home from college for vacation, the apocalypse broke out immediately, and the supplies at home were not enough for the mother and daughter to last 7 days. If Lin Han hadn't kindly sent some food, Su Qingwan and her daughter would have starved to death soon. Even so, Su Qingwan's daughter had fainted from hunger. Now with nowhere else to turn, Su Qingwan had found a support. Lin Han put his arm around Su Qingwan's shoulder and walked toward the bedroom. Su Qingwan asked him not to call her madam, just to call her Qingwan. Her face turned slightly red as she spoke with difficulty. With the bedroom door closing, everything went without saying. When Lin Han woke up again, Su Qingwan was no longer by his side, and sounds of cooking came from the kitchen. It seemed Madam had taken her role to heart. Lin Han nodded in satisfaction. Recalling the intense battle just now, he couldn't help but blush. He could only say, as expected, of a wolf-like appetite, that self-awareness and aggressiveness and that unparalleled technique. If Lin Han hadn't been working out and training, eating well every day, he probably wouldn't have been able to handle Su Qingwan. Even so, he had almost failed to endure. After this, Lin Han felt his body and mind were completely comforted. Mature women are so nurturing. In a great mood, Lin Han opened the system panel. Host, Lin Han, level 1st order 2-star, abilities, dimensional space, gourmet healing. Collected collection member, Su Qingwan. May the host continue to work hard and add more goddesses to the collection. Looking at the new gourmet healing ability, this was a big surprise for Lin Han. Although the gourmet healing ability was useless to him, it had opened a new path for him, which was that every goddess added to his collection would awaken an ability after being intimate with him, and this ability would also be directly copied by him, even at a higher level. In a great mood, Lin Han came to the living room and ran into Su Qingwan, who was carrying dishes out of the kitchen. She softly announced that it was time to eat, her face red. She was still a bit embarrassed, so she turned her head away, not daring to look at him. Looking at the table full of delicious-looking dishes, Lin Han's appetite was greatly stimulated. He casually picked up a chopstick and put it in his mouth. That unparalleled taste instantly made his eyes light up, and he began to eat without regard for anything else. Proper food is so much better than those instant foods. Seeing that Su Qingwan was just watching him eat without moving, Lin Han quickly put down his chopsticks and raised an eyebrow, telling her to eat too. Su Qingwan then asked if he could let her bring some supplies to her daughter. She had already fainted once from hunger. The moment Su Qingwan finished speaking, the system panel suddenly appeared before Lin Han's eyes. Name Su Yunjin. Occupation college student. Pending ability. SS rank ability Martial Dao star. Charging count. 0. Uninitiated, but exceptionally talented. Top tier royal sister. Big chest. Slim waist. Long legs. Leg worship type. Taekwondo club president, speaks little but does much, will become your most loyal and tacit partner. After seeing this collection introduction, Lin Han immediately slapped the table and said with soaring spirit, asking why she hadn't told him earlier. Let's go. Take him to see her. Actually, Su Qingwan also wanted to save her daughter earlier, but one must bow their head under the eaves. As a maid, she had to serve her master comfortably first, before daring to make such a small request. After confirming that Su Qingwan's daughter, Su Yunjin, was also a goddess of great strategic value, Lin Han immediately decided to add Su Yunjin to his collection as well. Then the Su mother and daughter, one handling external affairs and fighting alongside him, one managing internal affairs and helping coordinate between the various goddesses. Just thinking about it was very nice. Seeing Lin Han so concerned about her daughter, Su Qingwan was moved to tears, thinking only that in the days to to come, she must fulfill her duties as a maid and satisfy all her master's requirements. When Su Qingwan opened her door, she brought Lin Han to Su Yunjin's bedroom. At this moment, Su Yunjin was lying horizontally on the bed, wearing a black sports bra and black yoga pants, her hands folded flat on the bed. That figure, carved like Venus, immediately attracted Lin Han's gaze. The conspicuous abdominal lines, the slender yet powerful waist, the high and rounded peaks, the full hips, the long and straight legs, like a devilishly alluring figure that made Lin Han's life worth living. It could be said she hadn't eaten or drunk anything, saying that sleeping consumed the least energy, so she forced herself to sleep every day. Su Qingwan's voice already carried a hint of crying. Lin Han urged her to wake her daughter up and feed her. He was also a bit urgent at this time, truly unable to bear seeing his second wife suffering such torment. Su Qingwan looked at Lin Han with gratitude overflowing from her beautiful eyes. As she spoke, she took the food she had brought and walked to Su Yunjin's bedside, while Lin Han quietly left the bedroom and sat on the sofa in the living room. He had to give the mother and daughter some alone time and space to communicate. Until an hour later, Su Qingwan brought out Su Yunjin, whose complexion had clearly improved, from the bedroom. Su Yunjin looked at Lin Han with anger, hesitation, and an indescribable meaning in her gaze. Just now in the bedroom, Su Qingwan had told Su Yunjin everything that had happened between her and Lin Han. Su Yunjin didn't blame her mother, expressing understanding for her choice, because in this apocalyptic world, only the strong could survive better. Moreover, her mother had done it to save her. Su Qingwan patted Su Yunjin and told her to call Uncle Gu. Su Yunjin closed her eyes and gritted her teeth, about to force herself to call out. Lin Han stopped her, saying there was no need. Yunjin and he were about the same age. Just call him by his name. Joking aside, Su Yunjin would be his woman sooner or later. Calling him uncle sounded terrible. Lin Han still preferred the titles of husband or master. Su Yunjin didn't speak, just nodded obediently. Thus, for a moment, the three of them didn't know what else to say. After all, the current relationship was indeed a bit awkward. Su Yunjin pushed her mother Su Qingwan, suggesting she and Lin Han go back first. She wanted to be alone for a while. Seeing the scene about to turn cold, and after hearing Su Yunjin's words, Lin Han also expressed understanding. Everything that had happened in this short day was indeed a bit hard to accept. So Lin Han didn't say much more and took Su Qingwan home first. Just having eaten a good meal, Lin Han was now even more energetic and needed to vent properly. After returning home and closing the door, the first thing he did was block Su Qingwan's gentle lips and began to move his hands up and down. Su Qingwan's beautiful eyes widened, shyly slapping at him, but Lin Han just smiled wickedly, telling her to call him master. Just as Lin Han and Su Qingwan were engaged in their passionate affair, Su Yunjin was in her own bedroom, rapidly scrolling through her phone. Thanks to the intact infrastructure, electricity and the internet could still be used normally. This was also why there hadn't been large-scale civil unrest yet. Opening the short video platform, Su Yunjin found the first video on the homepage to be very strange. In the frame, a thin and small middle-aged man, in the next second, turned into a 3-meter-tall, burly giant. He swung his fist at a lump of iron, and visibly, that lump of iron shattered into pieces. This was an ability. From the beginning of the apocalypse until now, Su Yunjin would occasionally come across this type of video, but she didn't know if it was real or fake. Although the apocalypse had come, awakening all sorts of abilities wasn't strange, but after all, she hadn't seen it with her own eyes, so it was hard to believe. Su Yunjin noticed that although this video didn't have many views, the comment section below was quite lively. The comments were varied, but Su Yunjin somehow suddenly remembered the delicious meal her mother Su Qingwan had fed her. What kind of meal could make her, who had been starving for so many days, recover her body and energy instantly after eating it? As a top student at Lucheng University, an incredible conjecture flashed through Su Yunjin's mind, which was that her mother Su Qingwan had awakened an ability. Otherwise, how could it be explained that just by eating a meal her mother cooked, her current physical condition was better than ever before? Su Yunjin instinctively felt something was wrong here, but she was even clearer that with her mother, Su Qingwan's weak personality, it was impossible for her to go out and search for food, and then coincidentally find a zombie core and awaken an ability. So the problem could only lie with that man. Coupled with her mother's words that after being intimate with Lin Han, she clearly felt her body and mind had been purified, and she felt several years younger. Su Yunjin was already certain that Lin Han had an unspeakable secret. Although she knew this reasoning and guess was quite outrageous, there was no way around it. It was the apocalypse now. What was impossible? Su Yunjin gritted her teeth and decided to ask him face to face. If doing that really could successfully awaken an ability, then Su Yunjin would do it. Su Yunjin knew that in this apocalypse, if you didn't awaken an ability, you would eventually be torn apart by zombies and those evolved flora and fauna. So to protect herself and her mother Su Qingwan, Su Yunjin was willing to give everything. After making up her mind, Su Yunjin no longer hesitated, pushed open the door and knocked on the door across the hall. When Lin Han opened the door and saw Su Yunjin, whose face was already flushed and even more alluring, he raised an eyebrow. Su Yunjin asked where her mother was. Lin Han blushed, not expecting Su Yunjin to ask this question first, but he still chose to tell the truth. Anyway, Su Yunjin would be his sooner or later, and they would all be his women then. They would have to go through this sooner or later. He just hadn't figured out yet what method to use to add Su Yunjin to the collection. Su Yunjin was about to get angry, calling him a rascal, debauchery in broad daylight, but thinking of him as her savior and recalling the purpose of coming here, Su Yunjin instantly lost her anger. She took a deep breath and asked if he was busy now. Lin Han was stunned, not understanding what Su Yunjin was trying to do. Su Yunjin mustered her courage and said she wanted to talk to him. She asked if he had another bedroom in his house. She bit her lip lightly, her voice soft and weak, her face already flushed with shame. Hearing such bold words from Su Yunjin, Lin Han's volume involuntarily increased a few notches, causing Su Yunjin to unable to resist pinching him hard on the waist, making him shut up in pain. At this moment, hearing Lin Han's movement, Su Qingwan asked from the master bedroom what was wrong with him, her voice full of charming tenderness, making Lin Han's heart race again. And when Su Yunjin heard her mother's voice and the way she addressed him, she couldn't help but lower her head, her face flushed with shame. How could her mother be like this? Would what was about to happen be considered a mother-daughter violation? For a moment, Su Yunjin's mind was filled with various thoughts. Lin Han told Su Qingwan it was nothing. She should continue resting. Although his heart was fluttering again, Lin Han could still distinguish that the top priority right now was this. Then he opened the guest bedroom door and led Su Yunjin in, then gently closed the door. Su Yunjin just glanced at it, as if acquiescing, and didn't say much. Lin Han leaned against the wall and asked what she came to find him for. Su Yunjin got straight to the point and asked if her mother had awakened an ability. Lin Han raised an eyebrow, asking with interest how she knew. He estimated that even Su Qingwan didn't know she had awakened an ability yet, but he didn't expect her daughter to guess it first. Su Yunjin explained that the meal her mother cooked could make someone who had been starving for so many days recover instantly after eating it. From Lin Han's words, she already understood that her mother, Su Qingwan, had indeed awakened an ability. Lin Han nodded in satisfaction. It seems Su Yunjin not only had martial talent, but also a good brain. Su Yunjin asked if her mother was able to successfully awaken an ability because of him. Although it was a question, Su Yunjin's tone was more affirmative. Lin Han admitted generously. There was nothing to hide about this matter. Plus, this was his biggest chip for collecting goddesses. Su Yunjin bit her back teeth, her face uncontrollably turning red again, and said she had a request. Lin Han asked what request. Su Yunjin mustered her courage to speak, her voice trembling, asking if he could do that with her too. Lin Han was shocked by Su Yunjin's extremely bold request. Were girls nowadays so brave? Su Yunjin said she was not afraid. She believed him. Besides, he saved her mother and her, so what if she gave him one time? Speaking to this point, Su Yunjin smiled slightly. She had relaxed a lot. This smile was like the warm sun in winter, directly smiling into Lin Han's heart. Lin Han raised the corner of his mouth and said slowly that she guessed right. She wouldn't regret today's decision. He didn't expect the process of collecting Su Yunjin to go so smoothly. It could only be said that Su Yunjin deserved to be a top student. She could figure out many things at once. Having such a woman who could fight and was smart in the future to use, Lin Han only felt his mood greatly improve, and he no longer had any hesitation, directly stepped forward, hugged Su Yunjin's slender and powerful waist, and fell onto the bed. Until time came to evening, Su Qingwan, who had been asked to wear a black and white maid outfit, got up from the bed with a flushed face. She didn't expect Lin Han could still be so busy. She shook her head, then turned and went to the kitchen, planning to make it a late-night snack for him and her daughter. And after another hour passed, Lin Han stretched and walked out satisfied. It could only be said that Su Yunjin deserved to be exceptionally talented. The experience was off the charts. After awakening the ability, his strength and physical fitness was really different. This day, from morning to night, for him, had no impact at all. Su Qingwan brought out the food from the kitchen. Seeing that Su Yunjin hadn't come out, she asked in confusion. Lin Han said she fell asleep. He sat down at the dining table, picked up his chopsticks, and prepared to feast. While eating, he sized up Su Qingwan, who was busy in the kitchen, that curvy and exquisite back view. Beauty and food, well, they complemented each other quite well. Hearing his words, Su Qingwan also blushed. Lin Han's words interrupted Su Qingwan's thoughts, so she sat down beside him without a word, extremely close to him, almost sticking together. She was very clear about her position. Seeing Su Qingwan so proactive, Lin Han smiled with satisfaction, reached out to pull Su Qingwan into his arms, his big hand quite restless, causing Su Qingwan to blush. While hugging Su Qingwan and eating, Lin Han looked at his system panel. After collecting Su Yunjin, he finally had a combat-type ability, and his level had reached First Order 3-star. The knowledge of spatial usage in his mind, as well as various close combat techniques and weapon usage moves, were instantly mastered by him. Now his combat power had greatly increased, and he wasn't afraid of zombies anymore. He told Su Qingwan he planned to go out tomorrow morning. She and Yunjin should stay home. Su Qingwan's face showed concern, asking if something would happen, if he could protect himself. Lin Han smiled mysteriously, saying when Yunjin wakes up tomorrow, she'll tell her some things about him, then she'll understand. He directly picked Su Qingwan up. She asked if he didn't have something to do tomorrow. He whispered in her ear, underestimating him, asking if she had the guts not to beg for mercy tonight. Until the next day, Lin Han walked out of the room refreshed. After casually eating some bread and picking up the metal baseball bat that had been waiting at the door for a long time, he stepped out.